good afternoon, everyone. My name is Celina Cordoba, cooking more with less. I'm sorry it's been a couple weeks that I've actually cooked anything on camera, but I wanted to show you my potluck veggie medley. People are getting sick left and right. I gotta keep Amore's immune system up and all of our immune systems up. Sage, don't sleep on your sage. I'm just gonna run through the ingredients real quick of what I'm about to bust down and cut up and chop up. Celery, it's gonna start off with some celery, your basic carrots. You want your malanga in there. If you can get malanga at your local grocery store or at your little farmer's market, please do so. It's really, really chock full of vitamins, B12, potassium, just like your bitter melon. A lot of people sleep on it. So good for your throat, your thyroid, all that good stuff on the inside that you want to kind of keep silky and smooth. You want to start off with your squash, your 2 chayotes, get your chayote, cut it up, throw it in there as well. Then we're going to throw a whole thing of ginger in there, some hot pepper, right, and some garlic. So I show this to you because people are like, how is a veggie soup actually going to be like stocky and kind of good? Once you cut all this up, we're going to fry down the onion. I have a little onion and green pepper. We're going to fry that up first. Then you're going to add all of your root and your base vegetables. You're going to simmer it on a low flame. I'm going to show you guys when I get upstairs. Sun was so nice today. It's like, why show you all this in my kitchen that's mad small and uninviting when I could show you exactly what I'm about to bust down. But we're going to use sage. I also have some watercress and some cilantro. So we're going to cut all that up and make a nice veggie pot medley. And if you want to be brave like myself, you can throw in, I say brave because I'm going to throw in probably a little piece of bacalao towards the end, just to give it a nice saltine. And if you don't, it'll still be really, really good. I'm gonna put some of it to the side for those that don't want any fish in it, but I'm gonna throw a little of the dry bacalao that I have and that I've steamed through in the end. So that's what we're about to bust up. I'll see you guys in a couple minutes. Peace out. Hi, okay. So what takes a really, you gotta stop it. I have to turn. Hi, okay guys, we're back. I wanted to show you, this is really what takes the most time with any type of preparation, is all this cutting and chopping and cutting and in it, but it really is worth it. What we're gonna do now that we created the base is I'm going to show you what I start with first. If you are cooking or you are thinking and you're chilling, music on, this is mybomb.com. It is so yummy. I don't know many people that sell organic watermelon juice, but these are one of the privileges of living in Miami right now. It is incredible. So I was guzzling this, chopping this up while I was listening to music. And that's basically the key, like trying to figure out what to do while you're cutting all the stuff up for your stuff. So what we're gonna do first, which is kind of weird, I kind of add my celery, my onion, and my like all my like cooking seasonings first, right? So I'm gonna throw this in the pan just on the bottom, and you guys are gonna see. And then I also just chopped up my garlic. You can keep the bulbs kind of whole. Don't think of like, you know, going crazy with all the chopping, but you want to just get a nice little chop on your garlic, your celery, all that base. So we're gonna add that to the oil right away. And then what we're gonna do is, I have my sage. You can stay right there. I have my sage. I'm going to rinse it off and make like a little pack, right? So I have my sage and my cilantro, which I'm gonna actually add in the base, like the base bottom of the seasonings. Because what I've noticed is that I might not be able to find a little string in 2 seconds right now. What I do though is I just wrap this up in a little string. Sometimes I use the same leaf from the thing, and I'm gonna throw that in there. Now, the reason why I'm going to throw this in there is it's going to create a nice aromatic feel for all your other stuff. So, what I'm just showing you guys right now is basically the base. After, when all your little celery and stuff is in there, what I'm going to use is just a generic regular curry powder. I'm going to add a little of that on the bottom with some salt and some pepper. Just regular black pepper and salt. I do have, you can use cayenne, but I like the mixture because I'm going to use some hot pepper. I like the mixture of a little real ground pepper in there. So all of that at the bottom. We're going to let that season its thing up as I move in my little small kitchen. But this is basically what I'm going to do. Just adding a little aromatics to the bottom. My sage is right there on the side. It's going to just create a nice, like, poof, flavor to everything. So I'm going to go ahead and simmer that down. And then what I'm going to show you guys is I'm going to go ahead and add this, because you don't have to time everything perfectly. So once that's in there, I'm adding my squash, my carrots, and my malanga. You want as much root vegetables as possible. And you can see, I'm not working with a huge pan, but I'm going to work with what I have. I'm going to add that for now, and then throw in the banana and all that other stuff later. And I'm going to keep an eye on my sage, because I know it's in the corner right here, right? So I'm just going to go ahead, let this simmer through, and what I'm going to do in 5 seconds, I'll show you guys, is throw a whole tea kettle pot of water on top of this. You want to immerse all of your vegetables in about this much of water on top. So when all of your stuff is in the pot, you want to literally see like about this much water on top of whatever ingredients you have in there. So like I said, I'm not going to, a lot of people with the veggies and the vegan stuff, they throw a lot of lentils and beans. I want to keep my liver a little light this week. I don't want to be farting. I don't want to smell Amore's farts. So what I am going to do, and that is true, even when I soak my beans, I still notice a little gassy, because lentils are high in potassium, high in gas, even if you add a little baking soda and do all those tricks. So what I am going to do is I steam through some dry bacalao, some fish. Now for all those that are like, oh, she destroyed that. It's going to be so good with a little fish on top of that, with the water and steaming through in the last it's going to take about 2 hours to make as well. So we're starting. I can actually, now that this got a little heat on it and started bringing, I smell the onions and carrot on the floor. I smell the onions and all that good stuff. So what I'm going to do is just show you guys the water, because this is basically it. It's a soup. You're not frying the vegetables. You're going to immerse them. So I'm going to add a whole nother pot. Hi, doggy. I'm going to add a whole nother pot in there. And one thing I'm going to show you before I think. So this is what it's going to look like. All of that beauty. So I'm right here. One thing I'm going to show you, because a lot of people don't know what they look like, weirdly enough, but not. I say that because you'll be surprised how many people like really over conceptualize basic root vegetables. The reason why the malanga is so good, again, your yam, your yoni, all that good juicy juice stuff. Same thing with the chayote. Really, really good for your liver, your kidneys, your spleen. All these root vegetables that like grow in the earth really do have medicinal properties. You just got to kind of unlock them. So the turnip, really good for people with colds. High in vitamin C. It's kind of like a good folic acid rustic vegetable. I'm getting my, here it goes. I'm getting my thing out. Basically what I do with this, and that's basically all the work. You can see all the stuff from cutting. That basically is what I take the most time to do. So I'm just going to show you guys. You just go around your turnip like that, like so. You only need one for your main meal. So once that's thing, I'll clean up later, whatever. Once that's all peeled, you do the same thing with the malanga. And be careful with this. This and the chayote are very slippery. It's got a nice little gelatinous feel on the top. So when you're finished, you want to make sure you don't cut your finger on the cutting board, because it will slip a little. It's got a little slippage. So you want to be careful with that. And all that brown stuff is off. I'm not too like finicky with all of it, you know. Keep a little. So that's what we're going to do. Same thing with the chayote. I'm going to take the first layer. I don't do this if I'm making a salad, but I'm making the soup. So I'm just going to take the first layer off, like so. That's on a high flame still, my pot. I'm not going to add too many dry seasonings to that. Just a little basil, probably a little bit of oregano. But just all the greens within itself. The squash. Again, we only use, you know, half a squash. You don't have to go too overboard. But I'm just going to take out the small little heart in the middle. Kind of looks like a pear or an apple. It's very, very good for you if you guys are coming down. Just to actually prepare your immune system as well. We always talk about when we're sick, This is good preventative. So Amor got a little, and I'm just not feeling it. It's getting a little chillier, just windier out here. So all those up north, again, same thing with the root vegetable. This is what takes the most time. So just cut yourself, like, give yourself 15 minutes. Because once this is all in the pot with your seasonings, I'm going to take out my sage in a little while just so that it doesn't wilt too much in there. But once all your ingredients are cut up, I'm about to throw the last of this in there. You're done. You put it on top, you lower it to a low, which is what I'm going to do in 2 seconds. And I'll show you guys how it looks like after an hour. Basically, all you're going to do is add all of your cut vegetables to a little bit of coconut oil or olive oil on the bottom. I ran out of coconut, so I'm using olive. Use a little bit of olive oil to keep the bottom of your pan greased. And go to town. Throw all your greens in. I kept away from white potato. I didn't think that I needed it. But if you want to put a little sweet potato in there, some white potato, it really is your build-a-own potluck. But I think of it as a potluck because as I'm chopping all those vegetables, that's when all your little magical properties and thinking about what you want to attract in life, but also just like, you know, this carrot might not be organic because it's a little goddamn big. So, you know, as I cut, just think of, you know, alchemically healing and all these things that we think of metaphysically. It really is true. Like a lot of your grandmas cut and used to sing while they ate, and cut and used to sing their little hymns and want this to keep my belly tight. I totally do that. Like, yo, I need my bum to stay nice, and I need my to stay tick and all of that. So have fun. I'm gonna come back in an hour after I throw this in. I just wanted you guys to see the malanga and the chayote and why and how you just take off the first layer. All right, I'll see you guys in a second. Peace. Hi. Okay, guys. So I just picked Amor up. He doesn't want to take this for me, so I had to prop this up real quick. I just wanted to show you the finishing results of the potluck. It is absolutely aromatic and beautiful. I did go ahead and added a little bit of the dried codfish that I had. Really, really nice touch. If you do have like, even a piece of snapper or something you want to throw in there, you can do that for a little extra protein kick. But what I'm going to do, now that it's pretty much done, I'll tip it to let you guys see what's in the pot. I have a little bit of nutritional yeast. What I'm going to go ahead and do is literally add some of that to Amor's existing bowl. I already poured him a little bit, and as you can see, it's nice and yummy and hearty and good, and all the carrots and good stuff is pretty much kind of melted down. So all I'm going to do, which I pretty much do with every like basic soup, instead of throwing it in the whole pot, you just go ahead and sprinkle just a little bit of nutritional yeast on top of there for some extra B12 and some extra vitamin and calcium and all that other goodness. So it also just creates a nice little thickening powder agent. And that is, I just poured some on the stove, trying to be cute. So I wanted to show you guys just basically how it came out. And this pretty much melted down. I'll spin the camera around in the end. This basically melted down for about 3 hours. No extra seasoning, dry seasoning in there, except for a little smoked paprika, a little bit of, again, turmeric. We started off with that curry powder. So again, you don't have to even like saute your greens and your vegetables a lot to begin with. Throw in what you have, enjoy the process, and just simmer it on low, and you'll be good to go. See you later, you guys. Much love. Keep them colds down up north. Try to incorporate a lot of ginger, a lot of warming foods for your throat and your shock, all that good stuff, all right? See you guys later. Cooking more with less. Deuces. Don't fall, camera. And this is what it looks like. Nice and tender and yummy and good. So even you can see, even here in the corner, I just left the sage that we had steaming through there. So at the end, you can go ahead and take all that good stuff out. Just a little piece of fish went a long way, so it kind of gives it like that chicken soup kind of flavor feel without the chicken and all that other stuff. So, all right, you guys, enjoy. Have a great night and a great Thanksgiving if you do celebrate. But if you don't, you already know what's good. Peace.